So I've been making a Minecraft server, beta coming soon, and I don't know much about servers, so I've been Googling and YouTubing, whatever, a lot of things, and there are no tutorials for the hardest thing on the planet. So I thought I would step up and give people some relatively good, kinda okay tutorial so they know how to do some things and don't die like I did. So here we go. So here we are on our desktop. And let's get straight into it. So, the first thing we're going to need to do is go on your desktop and make a new folder. It doesn't have to be on your desktop. It can be anywhere you want. I'm just going to do this for the purpose of the video. And I'm going to name this tutorial server. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to Chrome. And I'm just going to type Minecraft Spigot 1.17 server download. Now you click the first link, it should be this, and just scroll down, you should see 1.17. Now just click download and click that, and then here we are, it's downloading. Should be called 1.7 Spigot 1.17. It just has the 3 because I've downloaded this 3 times. Now you're just going to click keep. This won't damage your computer. Then you're going to drag it up into here, into your folder. Now we open this, you should see it's in there. Now the next thing we're going to want to do is make a new tab and go in Minecraft server download, then search and click on the first link, and this is the bit that we're going to need. Now what we're going to do is we're going to highlight this and then click copy or just Ctrl+C and open up our file explorer. Now the next thing we're going to want to do is right click, click new and text document. And we're going to name this whatever you want. I'm going to name it 0 run. So it will be at the top and running is what it will be. It will run the server for us. So now you're going to open that and you're going to right click and paste or just Ctrl+V and you'll get this. This is what will do your server. This is what will make it happen. Now the next thing we're going to need to do is go over to here and rename it. Now you can rename it whatever you want, just remember I'm going to name it server.jar, so I'll remember that. Now we're going to head back up to our text document and highlight the name and we'll just rename this to be server.jar. Now these bits, that's how much RAM your server will use, so depending on how good your computer is, and that's how much you should set it. I set it to 2 gigabytes. What it was originally was 1 gigabyte. Now you're going to click enter and type pause. This will make it so it pauses after stopping and we will be able to read if there's any errors. And now we will rename this 0run.bat. This will come up and click yes. If at the end of the things it doesn't say .jar or .bat, you're going to need to go up here into view and then make sure file name extensions is turned on. Next thing we're going to do is just click the server jar and wait for it to run and it should start making some files. Okay, now this is all it's going to make. These are all the files we're going to have. Now the one we're going to need to pay attention to now is the eula.txt. This is like the terms of service thing. Now we're going to click on this to open it, and in here EULA equals false. I'm going to delete that and make it true. Make sure it's exactly like that. No capitals, no spaces, just that, otherwise it won't work. And then we'll exit and save. Now we'll run the server.jar again. And you should see everything spawning and this coming up. You can see everything working in there and you can see all of files. Okay, now you gotta wait for this until it will say done, and then just after that, like it does here, we're just gonna type stop and enter. We'll save everything and exit. Okay, so here are our files now. So these are the logs. So this is what happened. Basically, this is all of the text that you saw, and this is just it saved as a document. Now here are the worlds. This is the plugins folder where we're going to put all of the plugins for the server later on. They're like mods, except the client doesn't have to download them. They're very useful, like Hypixel, when everyone uses that. All of the big servers. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to click out, and now we'll just see everything running. Okay, so once the done message comes, what you're going to need to do is go on the Minecraft launcher and log in to 1.17 and play. Okay, now once we're here, we're going to head over to multiplayer, and we'll see all our servers. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go on add server, and then we're going to go up here and name it whatever you want. This doesn't matter. I'm going to name it tutorial server. Now over here, this was the IP address, the server address. Now what we're going to type, since it's our computer, we can either type 0 or local host, which is what I'm going to be doing. Type it exactly like that, or just a plain 0, and click done. Now you should see this. This is your Minecraft server. Now I recommend that you log on just to check if it is working, and yep, as you can see, the server is running just fine. This is actually a pretty good spawn. So see, everything is working just fine. Spin around, no lag. So this should be good. Now we can exit out of that and go back to our files. So now we're back here. What we're going to do, you'll be able to see that you've joined. If you type in chat, then that will happen. Now what you're going to need to do is just type stop, like I just did there, and click enter. Never click the X just here. That could corrupt your files, your player data, and everything. Now once this has happened, you should see everything has worked, and this is all good. So now we're going to click enter. Okay, now back to the server.properties file. We're going to open that, and this is all the settings that you're mainly going to want to need. So starting from the top, all of this stuff you should ignore, except if you know a lot about servers and really know what you're doing. I don't understand any of this. First of all, the obvious is the game mode. Obviously, if you want it to be survival, creative, adventure, spectator, although I'm not sure if that works, then just type in there. I'm going to make mine a creative world. This here enables if command blocks can work, and now I recommend adding that to true unless you just want a normal server just for you and your friends to play on. Next one that's important is the MOTD, the message of the day. Now this is the little message that you see underneath everyone's name. So this is that bit, just like saying whatever. You can make it say whatever you want, and that is what we will do now. So obviously you can just go on here and type anything you want, but I suggest that you go on Google again and you type up Minecraft color codes, and you're going to want to go on the first one or the digminecraft.com one. Now we should see the codes for all of the colours that there are and all of this, the format codes. So we're going to be using the MOTD codes, and these, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get here. I'm just going to delete that, and then I'm going to copy, I'd like the dark purple, so copy that, and then I'll just paste it here. Now we have this, and after that what I will do, I can just type anything and it will be in the colour that we selected. Also, if you want to add a format codes, so any of this, then what you're going to need to do is you're going to have that before the colour. And then after that you do the writing. So I'll name it tutorial server. Also, don't put a space, that will just make a space at the start. That will look funny. It doesn't need that. And if you want to make a new line, don't actually click enter, that won't do anything, although I don't advise it. What you do need to do is do backslash and then N and then just carry on writing, and that will be your second line. Now, next is query port. This doesn't matter, that's to do with port forwarding, which we'll do in another episode. Here we have PvP equals true. This is if PvP is allowed, you can hit people. Difficulty easy, this is just the difficulty of the world, like there's peaceful, easy, normal, hard. You don't really have to, you can ignore this until this. This is a resource pack, that's a texture pack that people can use. And if you click true, then that will mean if you make it so there is a dedicated resource pack for that server, then the people that want to join it will have to use that. Now, the next one we need is a max players. This is the max number of players. I'm going to have mine to 200 because I think my PC would just be able to handle that. Go on whatever you think your PC would be able to handle. Online mode, I recommend having as true. If you have it on offline mode, if you have online mode as false, then that will mean that people can join if they don't, even if they don't say are logged into their Mojang or their Microsoft account. That is very bad. That means you can't, the player data will be messed up, you can't ban them properly, and it's just not recommended. Allow flight false, that's just allowing people to fly, no matter if they're in survival or creative or adventure. Now, this is quite important. This means it will broadcast the command prompt that we had up. That means it will broadcast that to the operators in the text chat in-game. I would keep that on unless you just want nothing to do with it and you just want a smooth survival world, then I would turn that to off. View distance, that's how many chunks someone can render. I recommend having this as 10. If you have a PC that might not be able to handle it, I suggest getting it down to 5 or 7 because that could lag your server. Resource pack prompt, that will be the resource pack. If you want a specific resource pack that has to be had to join the server, then you've got to put the file name of that in there. You're also going to have to put the resource pack up here. Now allow nether, that's just if you want to enable players to go to the nether, you can turn that off, and that will just mean nether portals don't work, they just don't get lit. Now nothing really from here. Resource pack, that's the same thing as the resource pack prompt up there. Now the next bit is down here, and this is the force game mode to make it so that you have to be in survival. Then hardcore, which is obviously you die, can't join again. Now this is the whitelist, so having a whitelist means that only people that you have specified can join the server. It's quite good for private survival worlds, just for you and your friends. Broadcast console to ops, that's just the command center again, the command prompt, just showing everything that's happening there in text. Spawn NPCs, that's spawning villagers. Spawn animals, that's spawning just any animals, mobs, whatever. Spawn monsters, this is the mobs enforce whitelist. That is just make sure the whitelist happens. Spawn protection is how far you can spawn outside of the radius. How far you can spawn from the center. So if something's blocking that spawn, then you can like spawn 5 blocks away. And then there's the max world size. I recommend you keep it at that. No one is, unless you're crazy, you're not going to have a world that needs a bigger limit than that. Okay, so that is that done, and that is everything that you need. That's it. It's pretty easy. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next episode of the series.